Yo guys, all right. So we are reacting to the state of Unreal 2026. And this section is more about Fortnite. Now, I am interested not in the game but more in the vision of what Epic Games is trying to be, and it seems to me that Epic Games is trying to be a hub in game creation, and I don't mean like in specifically just in engine, but I'm talking about things like similar to Roblox, where it's like a platform with for a bunch of games, and they're making sure that the assets that you buy through Epic Games, for example, the skins that you buy in Fortnite, can be transversal throughout multiple games and can be used throughout different games. uh it's interesting. It's I don't know how to feel about it, but I am excited because I mean, I've never used Roblox, but I am familiar to Unreal and creating games and everything. This is something that could give an opportunity to game devs and making money, because a lot of Roblox creators are making bank, right? And so I am interested in the value that it could bring to game devs and artists in general.
With you about what's happening in the Fortnite ecosystem. Every one of the games on the screen behind me was built by
Yeah.
an independent developer. Small teams,
Oh
sometimes just two or three
wow.
people using UEFN, published into an ecosystem of millions of players. For those of you who've been with
Okay.
us in UEFN, some since day one, thank you. Your feedback has really helped shape the tools, and your creativity has shifted how more than 75 million monthly active users experience Fortnite. Your
Wow. I need
games
to
are a
get
growing
into
share
it.
of Fortnite playtime. In May, we saw them capture 47% of all player hours, up from just 38% a year ago. And with over $1 billion now paid out to developers since the launch of UEFN, these teams are building businesses here,
I need to
with
get
annual
into
active
that. Oh my
$1,200 in in-island
gosh.
transactions. It's introduced more ways to monetize. It's opened up new genres
Yeah.
and helped developers with smaller, engaged communities thrive. Over 3,000 islands now earn more from in-island transactions than engagement payouts. And we're continuing to see a growing share of total
Okay.
payouts coming from in-island transactions. It's been a boost for genres outside of Battle Royale and Shooter, and these games now make up over 75% of all in-island transaction revenue. We know it takes
Oh
trust to build on a
wow.
platform that's still maturing, and this year, stability and developer effectiveness is our #1 priority. Back in March, we stated our goal to cut iteration times, and we've been making real progress, getting the time it takes to push changes down by an average of 40% or so. That's even higher for larger projects, and we've seen reductions of up to 70%. Plus, expanded live edit support makes iteration faster and more streamlined. Live edits are now applied directly in game mode, and the new edit list gives you a clear view of the changes
Oh
specified.
wow.
The consolidated UI simplifies session controls and adds the ability to pause the game, letting you explore the edit the scene with a detached camera. And then work's not done here. We're continuing to drive iteration times down and make UEFN a better tool to build with, release after release. And alongside hardening the tools, we're unlocking more gameplay capabilities. Scene Graph, which is soon to be the foundation of UE6, is maturing quickly in UEFN and giving Fortnite developers far more control and customization than ever before. It underpins new systems like custom items, inventories, and as of our latest release, an initial set of workflows creating custom weapons and animation with Scene Graph. And there's much more on the way, including gameplay attributes, gameplay abilities, and Scene Graph UI. We're introducing more and more major engine systems as first scriptable components so that you can spend more time in UEFN authoring gameplay and less time configuring it. We're also opening up new types of gameplay with targeted feature sets. Creature-based gameplay tools just shipped with games launching to players this summer. And Fortnite Sidekicks allows developers to tap into the attachment players have
What
already
the
built with game
heck?
companions. Developers can now build pet battlers, cozy farming sims, and more. And we're
Oh
expanding where those
what?
games come to life. Fortnite is back on Google Play and the App Store worldwide, and mobile playtime for UEFN games has more than doubled in the past year. We know that optimizing for mobile hasn't been easy. We're hoping
Mm-hmm.
that some of the recent feature releases, like native gesture support and touchscreen layout customizations and finer control over your HUD, can help you build more mobile-friendly games. These mobile features will exit experimental mode in August, enabling experiences and genres that feel more at home on mobile. Our recent Discover changes are already showing results. We've
Mm.
cracked down on spam and duplicate content, sorted islands into clear genres, and personalized Discover to help your games find audiences faster. And later this
Okay.
year, we're going to be doing a full redesign. Video everywhere, personalization across every row, and social
Oh
signals including the
wow.
like percentage right on the tile. And a big shift, Discover replaces the lobby as the first thing that players see when they open Fortnite. We'll be diving deeper into the Discover roadmap and the rest of UEFN ecosystem over the next few days. Our IP partner program enables any Fortnite developer to build with officially licensed content from major IP like LEGO, Star Wars, Squid Game, and more. Each partnership unlocks exclusive characters, environments, and templates that
Mm.
developers can use to create games they can't build anywhere else. One of the
Okay.
OG UEFN developers, Future Trash, has successfully brought their FOD IP to Fortnite and launched a hit game set in a galaxy far, far away. Their founder, Kevin, is here to share more about what they've been up to, so please give him a warm welcome.
Okay. That's dope.
Thank you, Hannah. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Marciano, co-founder and CEO of Future Trash, the game studio behind FOD. In 2022, my co-founders, Nate, Scott, Eric, and I quit our jobs, and we wanted to build the next great party game. We were betting everything on an indie studio with one idea and a lot of passion. We learned fast how brutal that road is. Back-end
Yeah.
infrastructure, discoverability, distribution,
Oh
the
my
walls were
god.
everywhere.
Yeah.
By early 2023, we only had a few weeks of runway left. I flew to GDC,
Oh.
Steam Deck in hand, trying to get anyone's attention to care about what we had built. That's when UEFN got announced, and we thought, why don't we bring our game into Fortnite? We weren't native to UGC, so it felt incredibly risky.
Oh.
After some experimentation with the tools and learning more about the blossoming creator economy, we could see the potential. We rolled up our sleeves and shipped our first game in under 3 weeks. We hit publish and got player feedback almost instantly. And that's when it settled in. This was going to be our path forward. And that bold pivot didn't just save our company, it changed our perspective on the future of the games industry. What UEFN gave us wasn't just a platform, it was direct access to our audience. No gatekeepers, no publisher approval. You just have an idea, you build it, and players play it. We've now reached a scale of players we genuinely never thought would be possible as a small studio. From a MOBA that didn't quite land with the Fortnite audience to our first breakout hit, Boom Tycoon, we had the opportunity to experiment with a wide range of genres and discover what felt right for our creative sensibilities on the platform. And as a studio obsessed with world building, character-driven experiences, and building original IP, UEFN became our creative sandbox and our distribution layer at the same time. Star Wars has always been a creative inspiration to everyone on our team since childhood. None of us ever dreamt that we'd be able to craft our own game using the iconic IP with essentially total creative control. The droids of Star Wars, they do the hardest work, they survive the worst odds, and they get the least amount of credit. And we thought, let's make a game about them. Droid Tycoon was our love letter to these unsung heroes of the Star Wars universe. It's hard to believe that this game could have existed anywhere else. And that's how we see the future of how legacy IP will embrace UGC native creators to foster an infinite extension of their content universe. That's where the most exciting stories are going to be told. And you all showed up to prove it. Since we launched the map, Droid Tycoon became the most played UEFN game in Fortnite by hours. It climbed to the second most played game across all of Fortnite in its first weekend. And earlier this month, it set a new record for the highest number of concurrent players over a 2-hour period, which is the strongest performance ever achieved by an IP experience in Fortnite.
Okay.
Looking ahead, our ambitions are to continue pushing the boundaries of what's possible on the platform in terms of visual quality and storytelling.
No.
We'll continue building our own original IP while also making immersive experiences for the franchises that inspire us most. Thank you.
Okay. No, that's crazy. No, this there, I mean, I'm seeing now, but I mean, I used to see, okay, when UEFN came out, I was like, oh, I'm interested in knowing what's up with that. Now, I was in school, so I didn't really have much time. I was really focusing on just making games, right? But this right there, this is actually insane. Especially like, couldn't we like, because I made 2 games for Unreal FM, could we just like import those games into Unreal Fortnite, or am I tripping?
Life in Droid Tycoon in a way that has connected so deeply with fans. Droid Tycoon is a standout representative of some of the big highlights we had this year in Disney and Fortnite. Let's take a look.
I mean, it's no different than like, oh yeah, I remember Ahsoka is so dope. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Giant food from the sky.
Wow.
This partnership
This is
anchored in one
crazy.
conviction. Disney stories should reach fans where they already are, and that's increasingly in games. And it extends beyond Epic and Disney. Developers, you're in this too, with the agency to build your own experiences and tell your own stories using the IP that you know and love.
Oh wait.
Early in
Also,
my game dev career, my dream was to make games in the Star Wars universe. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that, and it's been a great full circle moment for me, personally, to see developers experience the thrill of making their own Star Wars games for the first time. What's happened since we launched this IP program has exceeded everything we expected. Star Wars came to UEFN and developers ran with it. Galactic Siege, Escape Vader, Droid Tycoon, all built with tools available to everyone in this room. 8 million players in 72 hours overall. Galactic Siege had 6.5 million players, and Escape Vader had 3.4 million plays. In 6.5 million players, and Escape Vader had 3.4 million plays in just the first 6 days. And Droid Tycoon became the #2 most played island in Fortnite within a week. All of us at Disney want to
oh wow.
congratulate and thank Beyond Creative and Jogo for their contributions on their exemplar island launches, along with Droid Tycoon. In The Mandalorian and Grogu Watch Party Island, fans were able to watch the first 10 minutes of the film before it ever hit theaters. This is a new model for what studio IP and the creative pipeline can look like, going beyond IP access and toward creative continuity and immersion in worlds that feel real. Star Wars, though, was just one chapter in a year where games meaningfully extended our storytelling. As Percy Jackson returned to Disney Plus for Season 2, Siege of Monsters, created by our friends at Gauntlet, offered a new way to experience that world, while our own Disneyland Game Rush translated the energy from Anaheim and Disneyland's 70th anniversary into playable form. And our Disney, Pixar, Lucasfilm, 20th Century, and Marvel outfit collabs continue to remain amongst the most popular in Fortnite. That goes beyond a traditional IP arrangement. It's iconic Disney stories in the hands of more creatives, reaching more fans than ever. And we can't forget our favorite animated family from Springfield, who had one crazy month-long season last year.
Wow.
This season had over 80 million unique players, with over 750 million hours played. The reach speaks for itself. We were so excited to see players then. Let's take a look at...
Okay, let's go.
Gets us to school every day.
Oh.
Strong with this one. Hey, look, it's Jurassic Park. Here's Dad having a meeting with my teacher, Mrs. Kobabo.
That's funny. Bart Simpson being like a live streamer.
We are so excited to announce The Simpsons is joining the IP partner program later this year.
Okay. That's dope.
But based on what we've seen, Springfield's in good hands. Thank you.
Right now, it's fitting that at the largest celebration of our game, in front of the greatest fans in the world, we celebrate that history. To all of our friends here in Paris and those watching all around the world, this is the future, and this is...
Okay. Is it with yeah, this is Unreal Engine 6, right? Yeah. I guess the rest of the You know what? I can watch the rest. Yeah, for Unreal Engine 6. This announcement was crazy.
In Paris, we gave the world the first glimpse of Unreal Engine 6. And this
Yeah.
is the next step in our mission, to make great games and tools and to share them with you so you can bring your ideas to life. And I'm here to talk to you about what we're building now for the future. Today, things are kind of awkward. There's actually two different ways to build stuff in Unreal. There's building Unreal Engine 5 games for standalone distribution on stores with massive AAA features. And then there's the Unreal Editor for Fortnite feature set and tool set that enables you to build a game once and then deploy it to all platforms live into Fortnite with its 80 million monthly active users. Now, each of them has some really cool, unique features, but is lacking the features of the other one. And so our big initiative to bring them together is the core of the Unreal Engine 6 effort. It's UE5 plus UEFN equals UE6 plus some more cool stuff on the way. The vision is that if you build things once the Unreal Engine 6 way, then you can have a game that you can ship everywhere, including the console stores, the PC stores, the mobile stores, and also ship live into the Fortnite ecosystem or any other Unreal Engine 6-based game ecosystem built by any other developer. Now, in prior generations, we put graphics first in leading and announcing our technology. But with the Unreal Engine 6 generation, we're focusing first and foremost on the foundations of the engine to prepare for the next generation of game development and for gaming. And the most critical change here is the move to the verse programming language for gameplay development alongside the low-level C++ engine. And the reason for this is to enable massive scale code and content interoperability across games. Today we have a lot of content interoperability features. You go to the Fab content marketplace, you download a bunch of cool objects, you stick in your game, but then you have to wire them up and make it work yourself. In the Unreal Engine 6 generation, by having a unified set of APIs and a unified language that works everywhere, you'll be able to build smart assets that are completely portable between games and between projects and can be shared at any scale, with the potential to have millions of developers collaborating together on a shared body of work that anybody can use. Another hallmark aim for the Unreal Engine 6 generation is to enable far larger game simulations. You know, the original Battle Royale movie in 1999 that inspired the Battle Royale genre of games, fortunately, just happened to have 100 people dropping onto an island. It's a nice coincidence because that's actually the maximum number of players our code base could support running on a single thread on a server. If they had 1,000 players, we wouldn't have been able to do it. The goal of Unreal Engine 6 is to introduce software and transactional memory technology, which Curtis Schmidt will talk more about later, in order to enable scaling of games to any amount of computers that can fit into a data center. Hundreds, thousands, potentially even millions in the future. And this is technology that's in the research lab, and the team is working very rapidly to make into a practical shipping system. Another major aim of Unreal Engine 6 is something I first talked about at the SIGGRAPH Computer Graphics Show back in 2016. There I talked about a potential future of gaming as an open system like the web is open, in which any developer can run a server, build a game, host their own content, and the user can go anywhere they want, from place to place, bringing all of their stuff with them, and tearing down the walls and barriers that exist between games to have a completely interoperable ecosystem. And you know, the Rocket League preview of Unreal Engine 6, if you look at the very last frame of it, there was a little URL bar on top. The URL was verse://rocketleague.com. And we're tantalizingly close now to fully realizing this idea of an open gaming ecosystem with the ability to travel from game to game and independent developer freedom to build everything they want everywhere they go. And our aim at Epic is to work with all developers in the industry to build this system together as peers. We want a system with no overlord. We've been spending some time fighting against overlords in the industry with some amount of success. And we don't want to be the next one. Rather, we want to be a partner to every company in the industry, including all game developers and also other makers of technology and services, in order to build the best stuff and connect it all up together. And so a huge part of this effort is going to be Epic adopting open standards like the Pixar USD file format and GLTF, and also working with standards bodies and releasing specifications to bring new standards into the industry where they're lacking and needed. I'll be talking more about that later, but right now I'd like to introduce Marcus Wasmer to talk about the architecture of Unreal Engine 6. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Tim. So let's just take a second look at the recent history of Unreal Engine. So Unreal Engine 4 opened the engine to everyone by making the tools free to use and the source accessible on GitHub. And UE5 reinvented how worlds are built, helping you go bigger, add density and dynamic detail, and do it faster than ever before. UE6 has a different proposition. It's about evolving how we ship and operate our games. That said, UE6 will keep doing the things you want an Unreal Engine to do. Rendering will keep getting better, cook times will come down, iteration loops are getting tighter, mobile is increasingly capable.
Okay.
However, we believe for UE6 that there are three things about game development that need to change at the same time. First, gameplay
Oh, wait. I was...
programming needs to get simpler for creating persistent, live, large-scale worlds. And Verse is the foundation for Epic's future programming model. It's a next-generation language purpose-built to power massive, persistent game worlds at scale, where global state just works and transactionally correct concurrency is handled by the runtime. We've built a modern high-level gameplay framework on top of Verse that gives you a true foundation to build games and experiences easily and to share their interoperable components between games. You'll hear more about our goals and architecture for this programming model from our technical director on the project in a few minutes. But for now, let's talk about the second guiding principle of UE6. Content and code should be portable across games and even engines. Our goal is to give the games industry a whole new way to grow our ecosystems with cross-promotion, portable player value, and to really lean into all the positive sum dynamics that Metcalfe's law predicts for connecting experiences and social graphs together. And we're going to do this with a determined effort to move UE beyond just extensibility and into open specifications for interoperability. Where existing standards such as GLTF or USD are capable of fulfilling our needs, we'll make them first-class formats within the engine. And where a standard doesn't yet exist that serves the needs of game ecosystems, we'll open up Unreal's own systems as open specifications with Verse APIs, defined asset conditions, and documentation that any engine, tool, or studio can implement against. And Fortnite Cosmetics will be our first real proof point of portability. We're going to start by moving the base system to an open UE6 module that's usable by all games. And this means that you'll have the option to use a player's entitled Fortnite outfits in your own games, and you'll get the tools to build outfits for your own games that work inside Fortnite.
That's crazy.
And we're tackling this problem first.
They're really trying to make you stay in Unreal in the whole Epic Game ecosystem.
Value by respecting their purchases across an interconnected ecosystem of games. We see this as the first step towards building a shared economy for smart assets. Functional assets with logic and functionality that work across games to recognize players' time and spending in a better way. In the end, this isn't really a Fortnite story. It's just about proving that such a mature, complex system can work at scale, and that every game that works with these systems will immediately benefit from them. Happily, we're taking the first concrete steps to such an open ecosystem right now. MetaHuman has been adopted by some of the most successful games in the world and is rapidly becoming a standard for digital characters. And that's why today we're announcing the MetaHuman Dev Kit, opening up our rig logic and MetaHuman DNA toolsets under the MIT license so that you can deliver MetaHumans in any game, any engine, any platform.
Oh, wow. Wait, this could change a lot, especially like when we talk about creating new characters. We could just use the topology and the base topology of MetaHuman and make your own character. Just make sure that you don't change the actual topology. Or you could create your character and then Z-wrap with the MetaHuman topology, then make a whole new character and make it game ready for Unreal Engine FN. This could get crazy. Wait, or am I tripping?
Please come to our talk right after this. All right, moving on. No tech presentation would obviously be complete without a conversation about AI. So to get one of the fun talking points out of the way, there's some speculation going on. And we don't actually think that's what happened next. What does, we think, is much more interesting. That AI-assisted game creation will tighten iteration loops, reduce time-consuming manual setup of levels, character rigs, particle systems, getting bone weights, adjusting lighting, all of the manual work required to translate professional, creative intent into performant and cross-platform games. And crucially, Unreal Engine is uniquely placed to be the efficient, cross-platform, high-fidelity runtime that will remain the substrate on which much of the world's best games run. A central role in building workflows is a fluent translation layer, increase the amount of iterations a team can make to polish their content. UE6 will ship with these workflows battle-tested against internal development and in UEFN. And while we've mostly been showing and talking about content creation, coding and engineering are important as well. Internally at Epic, we've been doing a lot of investigation to see what works and what doesn't. And we recently opened up pretty broad usage for code generation and AI analysis across our back-end, engine, and game development engineering teams. We've had a lot of great success stories. We've had particular success with people writing custom tools for their own work, fast code indexing tools for helping LLMs deal with large code bases like UE, fast incident response analysis, automated root cause analysis for crashes, automated test generation, and of course the ones you'd expect on back-end service development. But what's interesting is that most of those cases aren't even generating mainline Unreal Engine code yet, though that'll come. So you can expect Unreal Engine 6 to include all the key learnings for using AI for engineering along with content workflows. Okay, so we know you obviously have lots of questions about the transition from UE5 to UE6, so let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
UE6 converges two threads of development we've been running in parallel. UE5 for high-end standalone game and content development, and Unreal Editor for Fortnite as the live environment where our new programming model is getting battle tested. UE6 will combine these two products into one. As UE5 and UEFN merge into one editor, you will be able to ship traditional games and projects exactly as you do today. You'll be able to ship directly in Fortnite, or ship your own ecosystem and optionally make it compatible with ours. You'll have an easy step from one to the other. Actors and blueprints will be in early versions of UE6. Eventually, these will be deprecated when the new framework is sufficiently mature, and you'll have.
Wait, this is crazy.
Also, a new UE6 live stream will be on GitHub later today, publicly visible, just like the UE5 stream has always been. Any UE5 changes will merge to UE6 to not get lost, but not vice versa. And in addition, Fortnite development will be attached to the UE6 stream, so you can see all of our ongoing work live and cherry pick any changes as needed.
Yo.
This stream is not meant to be any kind of alpha. It exists just to be transparent with where we're going.
Okay.
And while we're not currently planning another official UE5 release after 5.8, we do reserve the right to ship a 5.9 if needed. You never know.
Okay. Wait.
So when can you get your hands on UE?
Okay. Okay, so okay. So we might not get a 5.9, but if needed, if like they feel like they're not ready yet to ship Unreal 6, then they're gonna ship 5.9. Honestly, you know what? At least they're being honest.
This is not meant to be any kind of alpha. It exists just to be transparent with where we're going. And while we're not planning another official UE5 release after 5.8, we do reserve the right to ship a 5.9 if needed.
No, fair enough.
So when can you get your hands on UE6? We plan to release in early access at the end of 2027-ish.
Yeah. Okay, early access. So Unreal 6 is not really like.
Will be released 12 to 18 months following the early access release, and we expect just about everyone should be able to move their.
I think we got the preview of 5.8 when I can't remember, a few months ago, right? I think can't remember. I just literally just reacted. But yeah, it had to be like let's just say a few months ago, right? So if they're saying early access for Unreal Engine 6, then a few months after we might actually get the actual thing. So maybe mid 2027, we might get the actual like
projects to 6.0, as it will still
Unreal
have all
6.
The mainline UE5 tech, except for Cascade. We're killing that one. That one's not gonna make it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember I was making a game with Newton Bolt, and one of my programmers is like, please do not use Cascade. Bro, honestly, I think I only used Cascade like a few times, and that was years ago when I was learning in CJEP. When I was using Unreal in university, I never used Cascade. I only used Niagara. So.
And other breaking changes that we wouldn't normally do in a point release. So you can expect a similar upgrade path from UE5 to 6 as we had for 4 to 5. We'll keep everyone up to date on our progress as development continues. And now Curtis is going to come up and give us a more detailed breakdown of the gameplay architecture. Thank you.
Thanks, Marcus, and good morning, everyone. I'm Curtis. I work on the gameplay architecture in Unreal Engine, and today I'm excited to talk to you about the new gameplay framework for UE6, which begins with Verse. Now, Verse is a next-generation programming language, purpose-built to power massive, persistent game worlds at scale. We originally released it 3 years ago in UEFN, where we could grow it to become the foundation for UE6. Now, Verse draws ideas from functional, logic, and imperative languages, and it should feel immediately familiar to anyone who's worked in languages like C# or Python before. But it also has some unique features aimed at solving the complexity and scaling problems of modern game development, starting with its unique software transactional memory model, or STM. Now, all functions in Verse run as part of atomic transactions, which can be rolled back and resimulated as needed. And this lets us do a lot of interesting things in our game's code. So for example, to check if an object can be successfully moved in the world, we can simply set its position, then do our spatial queries to see if it's hitting anything. If it is, we abandon the entire transaction, reverting the entire operation, and pretending the code never ran at all. Now, Verse's transactional memory model can also help us address another big problem in game development, building enormous worlds with larger player counts. And today, one of the big limiters to really building larger games comes down to server technology. Scaling a game to run on multiple game servers requires a fundamental rethinking of your entire game's architecture. Well, with UE6, we're working to build a full distributed software transactional memory system to address this. So here's the idea. We take your existing single-threaded style verse game code, and then we distribute it across multiple servers. When an object needed in one server, the verse runtime rolls back the current transaction, migrates the object over to the server, and then reruns the transaction with the object now present. And this is all done in a way that retains the transactional consistency of the original program. And finally, with Verse, we wanted to make saving game data way simpler. So the Verse runtime can automatically synchronize and save any global state for the program, and then share it across all running instances of your game or an ecosystem. And to the programmer, what this means is that setting up something like save state for a player is as simple as setting a single global map of player to save state. No more having to set up databases or coordinate schemas between your game and other backend services. You can do all of this without ever leaving Verse. Now let's take a look at how Verse fits into the bigger UE6 gameplay architecture. So at the foundational level, we have the Verse runtime, along with all the UE systems that exist today, like rendering, chaos physics, meta sounds. With Verse, we're also introducing the Verse scene graph framework. Now, this is a modern game component framework with full support for prefab-style workflows and runtime composition. The scene graph has been designed to utilize all the power of the Verse language, including modeling the entire prefab data model through Verse's type system. Above this, every core system in the engine is exposed as concrete Verse objects. Each material, mesh, Niagara system that you author becomes a type of Verse class with a statically validatable API. And this lets us use the Verse compiler to validate all of our data in a unified manner across the entire engine. For example, if you change a parameter in a particle system, you'll immediately know where in code needs to be updated to match. And finally, we'll be introducing high-level frameworks for common game systems like characters, weapons, and vehicles. Now, building with these frameworks helps speed up development, but it also creates content that can be shared widely across games and ecosystems. So imagine grabbing a car from Fab, and instead of simply getting a skeletal mesh and some animations like you might today, you get a fully working Verse module for a car that functions across all of your games. With the UE6 gameplay framework, we're envisioning a world where enormous amounts of code and content is being built and shared between these projects, with Verse providing strong backwards compatibility guarantees to help the ecosystem grow sustainably. And of course, we'll need a place to store all this code and data, and here to talk about that is Matthias.
Thank you, Curtis. I'm Matthias Jansson. I work on developer tools, and I'm here to talk about our version control system, Lore. As we continue to scale our platforms and services, we run into many challenges when it comes to data storage and version control. We need something that can handle large binary datasets, scale easily across the globe, and provide secure data isolation in a shared multi-tenant environment. We also need to make it easy to use for everyone, not just programmers. We looked at available tools and came to the conclusion that none had everything we needed. Git, for example, it's excellent at what it was built for, distributed development of source code. But game development has huge amounts of binary data and content, and rarely needs everything on your local machine. Git doesn't really work well under such requirements. Other commercial and proprietary systems were also
wait.
But
oh my god, I'm just listening and I'm just hearing and not actually listening. I'm tripping. Wait. Hold on.
Our version control system, Lore.
Lore, I literally just downloaded this.
We run into many challenges when it comes to data storage and version control. We need something that can handle large binary datasets, scale easily across the globe.
Wait, I just downloaded this.
In a shared multi-tenant environment. We also need to make it easy to use for everyone, not just programmers. We looked at available tools and came to the conclusion that none had everything we needed. Git, for example, it's excellent at what it was built for, distributed development of source code. But game development has huge amounts of binary data and content, and rarely needs everything on your local machine.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work well under such requirements.
I'm tripping. I'm blacking out.
Were also considered. But our
wait.
tools have to be open. Open specifications.
I literally just downloaded this.
Anything less, and the people relying on them can't extend, audit, or trust them. So we decided to build Lore from scratch, and we designed the data model to meet our requirements from the ground up.
Because I use
scalability and performance core tenets from day one.
The thing is, for version controls, I used P4V, right? And this could maybe replace it. So,
and this is where most of Lore's technical innovation lives.
oh, hopefully.
It combines an efficient large asset handling with a free branching model, so teams can iterate quickly without sacrificing workflow flexibility or storage efficiency.
Okay.
Lore will grow with you, from a zero config single server setup for small teams, all the way to multi-region, multi-million user deployments like UFM, without requiring your team to fundamentally change
Oh, wow.
how you work. At the heart of Lore is an efficient content addressed data store. Every file, every directory, every revision is identified by what it contains, not where it lives. Identical pieces of data are only stored once. Lore gives you direct access to that storage platform, so you can build your own applications and pipelines on top of it. Lore's version control uses this storage platform to let you work on multiple things in parallel, switch between them freely, and collaborate in safe, isolated spaces without worrying about how it scales. Lore's sparse, binary-first storage architecture fetches only the data you actually need for the revisions and branches you work with, supporting projects of any size. Large binary data is stored in smaller fragments, allowing partial deduplication and highly efficient parallelized data transfer of any file. That same data model is what lets Lore scale out across the infrastructure. As you grow, Lore lets you transparently add layers of additional servers from the local machine out through edge and regional caches and up to a durable global store.
Okay.
Because access is authenticated and authorized at every layer, that scale never comes at the cost of control. Every server enforces the same access policies. For a globally distributed team, that means that users in different regions can hit their nearest cache, and the global source of truth is never the bottleneck. Everything Lore does, data storage, version control, is exposed through a single complete API. And on top of that API, we built the tools integration in Unreal Editor. Makes Lore easy to extend and integrate into any development pipeline. You want of the power and potential of Lore.
I'm pretty sure I'm getting as an element to
everyone's content pipeline. We have already started transitioning to use Lore as the primary version control system for development within Epic, and we plan to be fully using Lore by the UE6 launch.
Okay.
Lore to address scalability and efficiency challenges.
That's dope. I might start using it too.
With many of you, we heard similar challenges echoed across the industry. And that led to a bigger realization. If we're trying to foster a truly open ecosystem, one we all build together, then a system shaped behind closed doors would fall short. And that's perfect or complete package, but as an invitation to you to extend it, challenge it, and help shape it into something even more powerful together. So, if you're interested in learning more, head to lore.org and come to my session later in the show for a deep dive discussion on Lore's architecture.
Okay.
I will hand it back to Tim.
I might have to check it out too later on tonight.
Dollars of dev costs, followed by tens of millions of dollars of revenue. And the dev costs
there
are continuing to grow. It feels to many like a increasing angle of gaming is creating a massive television and other things that trend almost into vice, all competing for people's times, all very effectively. And filmmakers and architects and car designers and people at Lockheed Martin who are designing things.
Okay, I think that's all for the state of Unreal. That was interesting. There was a lot of actual. Oh my god, this is an actual big update. I'm actually gonna need to download a 5.8. I'm impatient in trying out. This is actually insane. I'm not gonna lie. This is crazy.